And if he keeps working and putting these tunes out, it's only a matter of time before he blows up.
That's awesome.
And here we have Beca.
Yes, the
Hi, how are you?
fantastic Becca. You have got quite the Skype background there. You got your keyboards. You got the whole thing. You even I think did your hair for this interview, which is awesome.
Hey,
So-
we're living in quarantine. What else am I going to get dressed up for? Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. So Becca, well, actually, but before we get to Becca, let's do a quick little review. If you want to catch this program, you can catch it on kjagradio.com or on 50 stations in the United States and Canada. And Danny, how do we listen to the program over there in the United Kingdom?
The program gets replayed over here in the UK on Friday at 5 p.m. through till 6, our drive time hour, on Leicester 107.5 FM. So yeah, if you've just tuned in halfway through or you're listening to this back, you can listen again through our website as well, www.leicester.fm.
Fantastic. So, Becca, give us a little bit of an introduction on yourself, my friend.
Sure. Well, I've been making music my whole life. Started age 5 playing piano and singing, and kind of came up doing all different types of music, singing in the choirs, playing in jazz bands in high school. I ended up studying classical composition at Juilliard in New York City,
Wow.
where I just kind of I was very broad-minded. I couldn't really decide what kind of music I wanted to do, so it took me a while to find my artistic voice. But so I wanted to get the largest sound palette I could, so I could kind of take any direction I wanted, which was great because now I'm really interested in film scoring. And I'm doing more composing, but I'll get into that later. But anyway, after I graduated, I started playing in bands around New York City and touring, doing different festivals. And then I started my artist project, my current artist project, and started putting out music. And kind of did this, figured out I really loved to dance. I love dance music. I love retro synthwave. Love playing with analog keyboards. So, and then about 5 or 6 years ago, I moved to LA and I started performing a lot in LA. And so here I am. I'm doing more recording these days. I'm doing more writing for TV and film and things like that. So, but it's great to be here.
I'm really pleased Jiggy's got you on the show because I'm a huge synthwave fan first off and all, and I've also listened to your the TikTok video that went sort of viral. You did the music for that.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That's another awesome track. I love the way it started off key and then changed in. It's brilliant. And have you heard of someone called Nina, an artist in the UK called Nina?
Nina.
Big synthwave artist over here.
I don't think so. I'll have to check her out though.
Yeah, do. His song reminded it's nothing, but it's both use of synth, but it was great music, and it reminded me of her as well. And she's huge over here, as it goes. Synthwave is very popular over in the UK. So I've heard your song, absolutely love it.
Thanks. Yeah, I got really lucky with the Bounty commercial this past year. It went viral on TikTok, and I'm still kind of getting familiar with TikTok myself, but it was just amazing to have some influencers do cool dances to it and sing along to it. That was just my dream.
7 million views or something, right?
What's that?
7 million views it's had, or plays on TikTok or something.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That was definitely a record for me. So yes. Felt really good. But I mean, it was the best I could ask for because I really wrote that song to kind of lift people's spirits, and just to see that happening, especially during such a crazy time, was really very heartwarming to me.
Yeah. And this Calm Before the Storm, which I think we're going to play in a bit.
Yep.
This came out on October the 9th, right?
Yes, it did. Yeah, about a week ago.
And that's across all the usual platforms. It's Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, all like along the major streaming platforms worldwide. So, and I'll be dropping a remix in about a week too. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So take me and Danny here through your songwriting process, because obviously we see we've got you here on Skype. So on the video we see your keyboards and everything there.
Yeah. Well, I guess my process is always different. Like I love improvising on the keyboards and the piano. That was like my first instrument. So sometimes I'll just be improvising and then come up with a melody. Sometimes like a lot of the time I'll be in motion, like walking on the street, and like
that's awesome.
A lyrical idea will come to me and I'll record it on my phone, and then I'll come back to my like home studio and start like playing around with ideas. And then sometimes I'll write to like a beat, or like I'll start with like an instrumental track, either with like, that I make myself or with a collaborator, and then I'll do like a top line for that. So yeah, I like to stay open to the creative process, however it comes.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to play Calm Before the Storm. It is Beca, and she's with us today here on our big program, and we are going to put Beca and Danny on hold here on Skype so everybody can hear this incredible Calm Before the Storm, and it's here on International Live.
Strong enough. Take cover from the feel the shiver, shit's going down. Come before the storm, and we're gonna bring chaos right to ya. Come before the storm, are you coming with us? Come before the storm, and we're gonna bring chaos right to ya. Come before the storm, are you coming with us? Some sunny day, this moment will fade.
absolutely amazing. It is Beca, and she joins us today here on International Live. And we are going to go back, and I always love this when we go back to the Skype call. I wonder what they're talking about. That's what I always wonder. But that was Beca, and she is back with us here on International Live. And Mr. Danny D is with us as well. Danny, what do you make of Beca? She is got the whole package. She is professional. She's punctual. She knows what the heck she's doing. She's she would pretty much be in the words of my good friend Mr. Frank Catolo, a blowfish in a twine factory. She is amazing.
Yeah, and for our listeners, she's absolutely gorgeous as well. And I've got to ask you, Beca, about the picture, because the picture on the cover, you're in the sea, right?
Yeah.
Now in the UK, you could never do that. Really? You would freeze to death.
Wow.
You get close to the water, your hair would be everywhere, with the wind. How hard was that? Was that a nice, straight, easy shot to get done of you messing about in the water, the sea? And whereabouts was that shot?
Wow. Well, it's actually funny you ask, because that shoot was one of my favorite shoots I've ever done. The photographer, Anna Azarov, who's also in LA, is absolutely incredible. And she had this idea. I knew I wanted to do something with like the sky in the background, like, or maybe the ocean, some kind of like nature, like wild nature shot. And
that's cool.
She had this idea of getting kind of like the early morning, like sunrise hour light. So we woke up at 4 a.m. and made our way to the Malibu, which is about like an hour from where I live in central LA. And but it was completely worth it because the lighting was just like pure magic at that time. And luckily we shot in like early July, so it was pretty warm. And I mean, it is pretty cold. I'm a little bit of a baby when it comes to the cold. So, but actually it was like surprisingly warm in the water. So it was a fairly easy shoot. Just like, I just felt like I was kind of on a creative high. We were just like really vibing with each other and like, just like really in that kind of flow spirit of like the moment. And it was really fun. So I'm glad I'm glad it came out.
You can tell the pictures come out great, obviously. And yeah, shout out to your photographer, Anna. What was the surname?
Anna Azarov. Yeah.
Yeah, great pictures.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've got some really good stuff. You've got a lot of great folks around you. Talk to us about your support system that you have that allows you to put your music and makes it all work.
Absolutely. Well, I've been in the business for a long time, working really hard and, paying my dues like playing gigs and doing all sorts of odd jobs, wherever I lived. So, but I am really lucky to have such great people around me, like my producers, the co-writer who I wrote this Calm Before the Storm with, Danny Ross. He's an incredible producer out of New York, Brooklyn. He has this band called Cheap Synths, which is awesome. And I happened to meet him through the music scene, and we hit it off, and we actually co-wrote my previous single, Taking Time for Myself. And just through like playing shows and meeting lots of people in the industry, like I've met a lot of great people. My family's always been super supportive of my music and have kind of cheered me on the whole way. So and like, it's like my sister Zoe Shack, who actually like was nominated for an Emmy this past year for editing the Beastie Boys documentary. Years ago we worked a music video, Bayonet, that she directed and edited, which was like incredible, with a company she used to work with back in New York. So I've just had some like, lucky moments where people were excited about creating a vision together. And I'm all about just like the collaborative process and just bringing as much light and beauty into the world as I can, or making a positive impact however I can. So yeah.
That's awesome.
How did you get into the composing and making music for movies and adverts and commercials?
Well, let's see. I think that pretty much through like licensing my music through different music supervision companies. I had some music on Dance Moms for a previous project, which actually Maddie Ziegler danced to. She's the dancer that worked with Sia, and
Wow.
just an incredible dancer choreographer now. And I actually like started off like collaborating with a lot of choreographers when I was in Juilliard. I've always been obsessed with dance. I love dancing. So that was really cool. And and then I did some branded campaigns for a few different companies, like actually a UK company, Boot 17, did a song for them, Who's Checking Out Who, a while.
Did I see Made in Chelsea on there as well?
Oh yeah, that's right. I had a song on Made in Chelsea too, which was awesome because they have a nice like they're really into promoting music, so they had like a whole Spotify playlist, and they're all about like their indie songwriters. So
Yeah,
that was
cool.
awesome. Yeah, but yeah, I'm like now I've been working with some music libraries, and my hope is to get more into film scoring and video game scoring because my like
Wow.
latest thing during the pandemic I've been playing a lot of video games and so I feel like music would work really well for that. So so that's what I'm kind of like putting out into the universe right now.
That's awesome. Well, another track, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Taking Time for Myself, which was another single that you had at one point. We're going to play that here in a few moments. Tell me and Danny a little bit more about this.
Sure. Well, I'm an introvert at heart, although I love people. I love talking to people. And I can be an extrovert if needed, although, with some awkwardness, But but I definitely like need that like time to recharge. And so I felt like that song was kind of just about like honoring yourself and coming home to yourself if you're like getting lost in other people or in a relationship. I kind of wrote that about just like kind of as a reminder to myself to just kind of like feel into what I need at any given moment and be able to honor that.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to play that track, and we will be back to finish things up here with Becca and Danny D. We're going to put them on hold here on the old Skype. The old Skype-a-rooney. That's right. It is Taking Time for Myself, and it's here on International Live.
Taking time for myself.
that is a heck of a deal, as they say. I'm not playing that song. Let's go back to Danny and Becca, and this is pretty tremendous. You bring up the idea of you composing music for video games. That last song could be in a video game. You've hit this on the head, my friend.
Thank you. That's really cool to hear. I also do like a bunch of electronic instrumentals that I haven't put out yet, but that's sort of like in my near future of like, of the project of kind of just like expanding. I'm always like so bad at just like fitting myself into a box of like, I always like want to continue evolving as an artist and composer. So that's really cool to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media, Becca?
My Instagram tag and SoundCloud and everything is Becca Dreams, BECA Dreams, like Dreams with an S. And then on Spotify, I'm just under Becca, BECA. So.
Cool.
Fantastic. Well, Becca, before we let you go, my friend, what is next for you as an artist?
Writing more singles and working on an EP for next year, and continuing to my quest to like bring my music to the big screen is really what my hopes and dreams are. So, I'm also doing a string quartet session later this year, which will be like a socially distanced session. So like kind of fusing more acoustic live instruments with electronics is always like a really beautiful like gift that I love to be able to do. I'm kind of like at the moment taking one day at a time, honestly, with everything that's going on and just trying to like be as creative as possible.
Well, can we get you back on maybe for an update in a few months? See how things are going.
Yeah, it's so awesome talking to you guys. I love that.
Cool.
Sure.
Well, before we go, Danny, how do people listen to this program in the United Kingdom?
It gets aired on Friday in the UK on Leicester 107.5 FM, and that's at 5 o'clock p.m.
Fantastic. And I appreciate it, Becca. Me and Danny definitely had a blast chatting with you today. Thanks for doing this.
Here. Great to talk. Yeah, this is so much fun. I haven't done this kind of thing in a while, so it's an amazing like experience just to see actual people.
Yeah. So true.
Well, thank you, Becca. Have yourself a wonderful day, my friend.
Thanks, you too, guys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
There she goes, Becca. And as we wrap up here, Danny, give me your take on all this.
Great guest. Really fascinated to hear Becca's stuff she's doing with the movies and the computer games. Really, everyone wants to get into that sort of side of the business. But her singles on their own, great tracks. She's got a great voice, great personality. She's obviously really skilled as well. With that classical background. You saw the pianos there in the background. And you can just tell by the quality of her music and of vocals. Really good artist. And looking forward to see what is coming up.
She makes it work. Well, I appreciate you being with us today, my friend. Thanks for having me along on this journey that we're on, and I will talk to you next week, sir. Thank you.
I'll speak to you next week.
Appreciate it. There he goes, Danny D, and there we go. And thanks for joining.